Hello everyone, and once again, the dojo is open. Welcome back. I am your sensei, LJ.
I am a guy, Meso.
And I am a chick, Purple.
And class is once again in session. Hello everyone. This is NinjagoCast, and we are the masters of Podjitsu.
Yes.
Ha!
One day, that would be funny.
It's not supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be endearingly cheesy.
Yeah.
One day, that will accomplish its goal.
Ah, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
a good tagline.
I like it. I think of it and I go, oh, those cheeky fellers.
Yes. All the cheeky fellas. How are you? How are you guys doing? This fine evening.
I could have been asleep right now, Meso.
You could have been, and I apologize for this.
It's hot.
It's okay.
It's really
It's
hot.
actually really nice today.
It was
like,
storming today.
There was a heat wave here for like 2 weeks or whatever, and then it stopped. And it was like really nice today. So.
It rained for the first time in months. And
wow.
now I think it's back to being hot outside.
First time, good grief! It was raining like non-stop like a month ago.
Lucky you! But not.
Can I have that? Do you want to trade?
Sure. Move on over here.
No. I wasn't talking states. I was just talking weather. Sorry.
Move on over here anyway.
That's not
Yeah,
happening.
you
I'm
need
not.
to escape the void.
I am. Yeah, there are better places. So, okay. Let's go ahead and get into what we're going to be talking about today. Obviously enough, this is going to be a bit of a stranger episode, seeing as we have not one, not three, not four, but two. Just two new Ninjago episodes, where we thought we'd have none. It seems too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not two,
Yeah.
not three, not four, but one.
We didn't expect to be doing this until Sunday. I don't know what's going on with the release schedule, but
Yeah.
what can I say? We're here, and we're gonna discuss.
Yep. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and discuss episode 86, Iron and Stone, and 87, Radio Free Ninjago. If I got those in the correct order.
I have a lot of stuff to say about one of these episodes, so go ahead and give us a recap for both.
Okay,
They
so
are neat. The end. End of episode.
No.
impressive. That was consolidation to its core. All right,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and start off with episode 86, Iron and Stone. So, the episode starts off and we see our ninja in chains being overlooked by all the new white-faced baddies, and they're just figuring out what to do with them. They decide, we're going to go ahead and throw you guys into the pit. Throw the Oni in the pit!
They think they're Oni. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it cuts to, that's right, ladies and germs, the new intro. And that's right, we've returned once again to 2006 Bionicle advertising because there are a lot of chains. And one could argue at the very end it makes offense. So, moving on, the ninja are being moved to the pit. They're seeing all of the new bad guys, which are doing fairly innocuous things, as bad guys do. And we see that Wu and Cole are trying to figure out how to get them out, and Wu is just being a little stinker. They end up deciding that they're going to go ahead and dress up as the new baddies and get down there. Meanwhile, in the normal realm, we see the ninja are now accommodating themselves with their new home. That's right, a giant garage. So they're setting things up there, the new resistance. They're introducing everyone to the new elemental masters, which are not new, but they're new to some people who never met them before, and it's really fine. Whatever, we're going to reintroduce to them because we haven't seen them in a very long time. Meanwhile, we see possibly one of the best scenes in all of Ninjago. The villains on the normal Ninjago realm side are discussing what to do next. Garmadon is like, who failed? And everyone looks concerningly over to Mr. E, who becomes Mr. Destroyed, as Garmadon basically implodes him and like tears him limb from limb.
Mr. C, Mr. B, just go through the whole alphabet.
Yeah.
Mr. Begone. So he's dead now. Not that he was alive to begin with, because he's a robot, and robots don't have souls or hearts or lives or anything like that. So meanwhile, moving back to Lloyd, he's talking to Mystica? Whatever. Her name basically means mistake.
Mistake.
Yeah, that's what I said. And they're discussing over a couple of cups of Earl Grey tea what to do next, and she's giving him some helpful advice, yada yada. So, back over with the other ninja, they meet up with presumably one of the characters from the Pirates of the Caribbean films. Chutoy, I think his name was, voiced by Scott McNeil, appropriately. And so they end up being dragged up into this giant Glatorian arena. That's right, I said Glatorian arena. I know where I am. Only to find they're up against a giant dragon, and it's a cool dragon that wants to kill them. So, antics, of course, ensue. They end up fighting the dragon, and due to some neat little tricks on behalf of Wu and... I keep forgetting his name. It's Cole. But I gotta come up with something to better remember his name on the fly. They manage to defeat the dragon, in the process revealing they have elemental powers, and as such, getting all of the baddies riled up and wanting to capture them, and that's where the episode ends. So let's go ahead and just discuss this one before we get into the next one.
Alright, fine. So,
It was neat. There were dragons. Yeah.
Gosh.
here's the thing about this episode. I'm grading it in 2 categories, and I'm going to do this for every episode going forward until the plots intersect.
Here we go.
Judge the realms individually. The realm of the Oni and the dragon, I basically, it was fine. It was cool. I have like zero complaints about it, but equally to that, nothing particularly stood out about it. It was fine. A lot of good voice acting. Cole's scene with like Sassy Wu was really good. Really funny. Where it was like, never put off till tomorrow what can be done today. Did you just steal my wisdom? It was my wisdom first. Which makes me wonder whether he does remember things, even though I prior assumed he didn't. But he must remember some aspects. The fact that the dragon hunters might not be entirely evil, that they're not like Oni. They're just people who seem to be trying to like survive in this world and they hate the Oni. They're probably trying to use the dragons to like fight against the Oni, or at least get powers to combat them in some sort. It's going to be interesting seeing how that develops. And then the whole fight against the dragon at the end with Jay being like funnily crazy was also cool.
Jay continues to be the best of the ninja.
Indeed. So all that was good. I have pretty much 0 complaints about it, but at the same time, there's not really a lot to discuss about that particular angle. Back in the real world, though.
Best scene.
I have 3 strong pros and 3 strong cons about this episode in the real world, in the realm of Ninjago. Pros first. Seeing all the elemental masters was cool. Tox having a voice, that was cool. Karloff being funny. Pale Man being weird. they're all endearing in their own right, and it was cool to see them again. Garmadon having initiative and actually seeming like a villainous figure and not just Harumi's puppet is cool. That's what I wanted last season. It's happening now. I appreciate that. Thumbs up. And thirdly, Harumi having that face after Mr. E gets destroyed, like, oh my god, what have I done? I regret all my life choices.
Rightfully so.
That was good to see. And I'm hoping that they explore that with her character more, because do I want a redemption arc for her? Not necessarily. Do I want her to be more interesting than just the villain who wants to kill everybody and have some nuance and layers? Yes. Because she had that, and then she lost that. Can she get that back? Maybe, if they decide to go that route. So all those things I loved. I loved about the real world section. The things I did not like. I'll start with Mystica.
What's wrong with her? She's just a sweet old lady.
Sweet old Lily.
Hey, heck.
Lily.
Oh my gosh.
Voice acting, not great.
I think the voice acting itself is fine.
I don't blame the voice actress, the direction for the character. Because I've seen the voice actress, she's Nakama from BIONICLE.
Oh, is she?
Oh, gee.
See,
Yeah,
okay,
she
that's my thing.
Good stuff.
I don't think the voice acting is bad. I just don't like the voice.
I feel like it's almost like bordering on caricature of like stereotypical wise
Oh, it is.
characters. It's like almost
It
a
is.
parody, and it might be, but it doesn't come off that way because she's so important. She's not being played for like comedic effect. She's like actually the serious, wise character plus plot device.
Yeah, like she used to be just like a joke character, but
Now she's this big deal. She
Yeah.
like drove the entire last season. She was the one who gave the backstory. She was the one who gave the ninja the thing to get where they are now. She's important, and now she's gonna be the one to dole out motivational speeches to Lloyd. And like, I cannot take her seriously. Every time she's on the screen, I cringe because I know her only purpose is to serve exposition or be a plot device. And the voice doesn't help with that. But it's also just the purpose of the character. Now there was an interesting thing because Lloyd at one point was like almost creeped out by her and all she was saying and all she knew, and he was like, "Who are you?" And that's an interesting line because it's almost like there has to be more to her than just being the tea shop owner who has all these crazy teas. I've seen two prevailing theories for her: that she is an Oni in disguise, a shape-shifting Oni, and that's how she has all this knowledge of the other world, and also all these like plot items.
can the
Or
dragons shapeshift?
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe
It's like if they could, what if she was like the firstborn or whatever?
that'd be interesting.
That would be a massive stretch. They haven't set that up properly enough in that instance.
It'd be cool, but yeah, they'd have to foreshadow that before they could introduce it. My theory is that she's Wu's mother, Wu and Garmadon's mother, wife of the first Spinjitzu master, and that's where Wu got his like tea, his love for drinking
Obsession.
tea, and that's also why she would know all these things. And she also wears Wu's hat, and like she's super involved in the plot now that these two are in Providence. Why she's still alive, I don't know. Maybe they just have in order for that to make sense, they would have to explain Wu and Garmadon's aging and why they're as old as they are, which I think they're going to, because Tommy Anderson was hinting towards that. But it could be interesting, depending on where they go with the character. Next big negative, the Elemental Master introductions. Very rarely has there been a piece of dialogue as heavy-handed and forced as that particular section in Ninjago. It might be top 5 of all time. Because Skylar is just talking to Lloyd like, all right, let's introduce you to everybody. You've already met Karlov, Shade, and Nero. And over there is, Griffin and Nero. And over there is Tox. And then Lloyd is like to her, and you're Skylar, Elemental Master of Amber, Powers of Absorption, Daughter of Chin, and while we're at it, your hair is red, and you once had a crush on Kai, Ninja of Fire, and my best friend in the team, who used to look out for me when I was a kid. It's like, oh yeah, just catching up the audience and everything, huh? There wasn't a better way to do that? Like maybe, I don't know, actually introduce them to the people they haven't met before, instead of Lloyd, the person who's met them. Why didn't they introduce them to Dareth or Misako or Pixel?
So true, though.
There was a more elegant way they could have done that scene. They just didn't do it. And it was very, very frustrating. But if you think that was frustrating.
Oh, please, come on, hurry up.
Problem. Mr. E.
Mr. 3.
Mr.
I am not actually going to get mad about this.
Yes, you are. Listen,
my
we just found out that the E did not stand for whatever
I'm not gonna
I
get
thought
mad.
last time. It
I'm not
stands
gonna
for
get mad.
Mr.
You want to know why I'm not going to get mad? You know why I'm not going to get mad?
You're
You know why I'm
already
not
mad.
going to
You're
get
already
mad?
mad. You're
I'm not going
already
to.
mad.
Spite?
You're
I'm
ruining
not
my
gonna
joke.
get mad because there's 7 episodes left, and I am going to give this theme that I love, that I follow so much. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say that because the season is not over, and because that they've said on Twitter, once the season is over, then they'll be ready to talk more about Mr. E. I'm going to give them the faith to believe that they are not done with this plot thread. Because if they are pulling a Last Jedi with Mr. E and subverting expectations for the sake of subverting expectations, if that's actually how things go, then I will rain down critique fury on this franchise, the likes of which I have not done since BIONICLE 2. Nay, perhaps more!
Oh my god.
So prepare for that. But until then, it was a good scene and it showed Garmadon's villainous power.
So you know what the E stands for?
What does the E stand
Extra dead.
Mr. Executed.
It was good, LJ. I like that funny joke, dude.
Thank you. You know what else is a funny joke?
What?
What's gonna happen to him at the end of the season?
And I also found a piece of evidence that I didn't immediately notice that I'm trying to repress. For anyone who hasn't noticed yet, he's not in the intro.
Let's
They
talk.
show the Sons of Garmadon wearing the Oni masks, and Ultraviolet is wearing his freaking mask.
I do want
I
to.
didn't notice that until later viewing. What's up, Elder?
I would like to briefly touch upon the intro.
Sure.
The last one
It's
grew
okay.
on me. It grew on me greatly. I'm sure this one will grow on me as well. I'm not as big of a fan of it as the last one. I like the symbolism of this one more, the iconography. However, I am not as big of a fan of the general flow of it.
What little flow it has.
Exactly.
Feels
So,
very disjointed.
it's not a bad intro. By no means. I don't really think there have been awful, terrible intros to Ninjago yet. At the same
Hands of
time, I don't remember Hands of
I
Time.
don't remember that one. And I
Jump
feel like
up,
that's very
kick back.
telling.
Jump up, kick back.
Oh.
Jump up, kick back.
Yeah, okay.
Jump up, kick back.
Okay, that's fair. And then at the very end, it's like
Jump,
all of them
jump,
as static
jump.
renders, and the camera just moves around.
Yeah.
It was basically the most basic way you can get an intro done, and somebody thought that was the best intro, and just goes to show how some people can be so unbelievably wrong. They just, shouldn't speak.
I don't mind I don't necessarily mind the visuals. I don't think it was a good remix of the Weekend Whip to use. Only basically repeating one line from it throughout the entire song to try to be all cool with like your clock sound effects. But it was all right.
Yeah.
This one, I think its problem is it doesn't have like a lot of cohesion and it moves by too fast. You can't really appreciate what's going on. Like when it starts, it shows them running from the dragon hunters, and that lasts for like 2 seconds before it then transitions to the 3 seconds in total before it transitions to the city, and you're just hit with a lot of information at once. Like you see the Oni Titan, then you see Lloyd and Nia hiding, and then you see the Sons of Garmadon members all within like 3 seconds, and it goes by so fast I didn't even notice it was Mr. E, or rather that Mr. E wasn't there. Then it cuts through the chains to the ninja running, and then they're running, and then it cuts to Lloyd and Nia who are casually jogging. Like they're the ones who, like, if you're doing about this metaphor, shouldn't they be running like faster because they're under like attack by the actual big bad threat? Instead they're like casually jogging along the chains, and then it spins around and has a cool shot of the chains ensnaring them, and then Pac-Man Garmadon chomps through the chains with his big head and his not Garmadon laugh.
Yeah.
And yeah.
As much as I like this
I think-
music, I don't think that it especially fits this intro. I think the last one was really fitting. This one, it feels just a little out of place. Just a smidge.
I like the start. Well, not the start with the Dragon Hunters, but the start when it cuts to the city, and it's like do 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 do. But yeah, I agree. As it goes on, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but as you mentioned, the Sons of Garmadon intro took a while to really grow on me. So maybe this one will too.
Yep.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
What did you think, Purple? Was it all right?
I like the visual aesthetic, but it's kind of a forgettable intro.
Yeah. It does have good visual symbolism. You're right there. It has a lot of good effects and whatnot. So credit where credit is due. I just think, very similarly to the last one with the random biker and the reflection, just tweak a few details. Maybe make Garmadon breaking the chains less comical. Maybe have him rip the chains apart with his hands or something, rather than, shoot his giant head shooting through them and like getting blurrily close to the screen. I don't know. Subtle changes. Like you can see that I can count the pixels on his teeth. Maybe just because of like
I think that's just because of
upload.
Yeah.
He gets really close up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. E. I'm gonna subvert expectations by waiting until the end of the season to make my critiques. The only thing I will say for now, just because of people who want an opinion on it, is I am not one of those people who believes there was no foreshadowing for Mr. E, or that he's just some random schmuck. The first 5 episodes of Sons of Garmadon set him up to be a very important dude, if not outright saying so, in more subtle ways. Though I do think Zane's interaction with him was a big clue that there was more to his character. And then he took a back seat, and it feels like they set him up in the first episode to be like, this guy's cool, he's gonna do something. And then he gets one shot by Karloff, and now he's dead.
Alright.
With no clue who he is or his backstory. It's very similar to what they did to Snoke in The Last Jedi. Cool guy, powerful, set up to have relevance, possible interesting backstory, and then killed before doing anything or learning anything about him. Sorry to anyone who I spoiled The Last Jedi for. But
It's an old movie.
It's been like 8 months. So they have to do something with him, or else it will be a big flaw to me.
Big flaw.
Big flaw. big. But we'll see. I've talked enough. You guys have any thoughts on the episode?
Not this one. Not really the other one either, but other than generic stuff.
My goodness. Purple, do you have any thoughts on what we're doing here today? Meh.
What are we doing?
Oh my god! Aren't you supposed to be the Super Ninjago fan?
Maybe like 3 years ago.
Oh
Wow.
Haley, where are you?
Ninjago's not cool anymore, huh?
Depends on who you ask.
It's cooler now than it's ever been. This is like
Yeah.
quality content.
Yeah, it's neat.
Oh my god.
I think we need to talk to
Potatoes.
someone about this, Meso.
I think we do as well.
Just a hunch.
Yeah. You'll be hearing from people later.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Purple, we're gonna have a meeting about this. There's gonna be some unanimous discussions going on.
Oh my god.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Next episode. Then.
Okay. So, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the next one. With a recap, this is episode 87, Radio Free Ninjago. I really wish Ninjago had a radio station, like a Hero Factory FM. Like, what would it be called?
I don't know.
Okay, thanks. That had a lot of potential.
Ninja Radio.
Ninjadio.
And we're done. Thank you. Okay.
Jay is the main host. Ninjadio.
Oh my gosh.
So,
I hate
episode...
that. I could actually see that being a thing.
It'd be great. It'd be a cool radio host.
Alright, so, episode starts off, the ninja have greatly angered, well, not angered, maybe interested? I don't know. All the bad guys in the arena are now ganging up on our 3 little ninja, and guess what happens? That's right, antics ensue. And so, they start just kicking butt left and right. The ninjas start, like, using their elemental powers for once in an appropriate situation. Thank you, Hagmans. Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
There's this really cool... Well, actually, the Hagmans have been joined by a new writer.
They're accredited as the writer for this one.
Fair enough.
Well, if
We
not
should
the
mention
writer,
last
then
episode.
the director at the very least. They were in
No,
this.
they're the writer for Radio Free. But we should mention that Braggy Shoot actually wrote the last episode and has joined the cast and crew as the writer for the show alongside the Hagmans.
Fair enough. Now don't interrupt me again.
Move on.
No. So anyway, so the ninjas start fighting left and right. It's really awesome. They're actually getting to do something cool. And then all of a sudden, boom, from the Batman movies comes in with this really awesome sword and starts sucking up the elemental powers that the ninjas start throwing at them. And then all of a sudden, guess what? He grabs 3 chains, the ninja's kryptonite, mind you, and just absolutely single-handedly defeats all 3 of them. Keep in mind, these are veterans of their own realm that have been through thick and thin together. They defeated all sorts of enemies as a team, but 3 of them got beaten by 1 dude. It's basically like the Halo equivalent of going up against me. So, they're
Bane's
done.
tough, dude.
They got toasted. Back in
He was
the...
born in the darkness, molded by.
I was born in chains, molded by them. You merely use the chains as tools.
Anyway, so back in Ninjago, we see that Ultra-Violent is now looking after the mailman. I guess she didn't get an important letter from her pen pal or whatever, but he's next on the list, and the ninja are like, oh no, that sucks. So then Mystica decides to recommend that some training be conducted and asks for Lloyd's help and Karlov's help. And Karlov is like, yes, let's do this. And so they get into the ring, but it's not for Lloyd. It's for the best ninja ever. That's right, ladies and germs. They are training
The one, the only, the brown ninja. That's right. He's ready to start kicking rear and taking names. And he's all out of names. He's here to fight. He's here to be the best ninja there ever was.
It goes about as well as you would expect. He basically gets pancaked several different times by Karlov's fists. It is absolutely hilarious. It's the best part about this episode. Moving on.
It was quite funny.
So,
I
Mystica
laughed
goes,
at it.
you all need to recapture the airwaves today! As if she's now immediately the leader. Then she walks off to let them do that.
Public opinion. The trial has begun.
So anyway, so we move back into the Oni and Dragon realm, where the not Oni, the Junkers or whatever they're called, decide, okay, power attracts power, throw them up on the diesel rig, we're gonna go hunting. And they go dragon hunting. And of course, Cole and Wu, under the guise of the Danger Buff clan, decide to tag along. It's an on-running joke that's actually really good. So they tag along.
Yeah.
All these folks, they move out, and they go hunting for dragons, hoping to find the one, the only Firstbourne. Ooh. So, back in the Ninjago realm, the Elemental Masters and Lloyd are now working on getting into the radio tower, the HQ of operations. They find Mailman, who runs off like a little wimp, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. Harumi is trying to figure out what to do. Garmadon senses his son, not son. He has no son. He also has a son. Senses him in the nearby area. Harumi goes off to investigate, and by investigate, basically
There's
just...
this really awkward bit of dialogue.
I'll
Not
kill
to
you.
interrupt you again. But Harumi is like, your son would have to be a fool to show up here. And Garmadon is like, do I look like a fool? And it's like, it's not.
I mean,
That doesn't have like a connection. It's like, it's a
well,
valid
you
response,
don't look like a fool,
but
but
your son, which is who I said. We're talking about him, not you. But anyway, talking to him about, I am my son.
Are you finished now, Meso?
If you insult my son, whom I do not have, then you insult me. Nice one. I continue.
Oh, may I?
Never talk to me or my non-existent son again.
I guess not.
Carry on.
hurting your son.
Carry on, my wayward son.
Hey.
That way we're not son.
Okay.
We're not.
Anyway, Ninja, long story short, they break in. We get some cool power combinations with Miss Amber and the 2 other dudes who can do invisibility and shadows. So that's neat. Meanwhile,
combo.
back in the Dragon and Oni realm, they're having a campfire time, all chatting, it's all great, and all of a sudden, dragons. One of the dragons has come. It is the dragon of, I guess, air. who is attracted by the ninja using their elemental powers involuntarily because they're basically hooked up to a giant antenna that sparks them and tickles them and causes them to use their elements, because I guess tickling is the key. And
I had the tickle spinner.
oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
All right, who fired the tickle spinner? That took me forever to say. Anyway, so they capture the dragon. All's not well. But Rocky Dangerbuff and his son, Dangerbuff Jr., they manage to rescue the ninja. Nope, they don't. They try, admirable as it is, but they fail. So, meanwhile, in the real world, or Ninjago realm, the ninja are successful, the remaining ones, in capturing the radio waves, and they end up sending this inspirational message for recruits for the rebellion, asking for additional rebel scum. It goes well, and then by the time the biker gang breaks into the room, they are gone, and the message repeats over and 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 over again until the episode ends. That's it.
Lloyd gets a pretty epic speech. It's a pretty good moment as a character.
Yeah, it was good.
It's a memorable one for him, and they show people reacting to it like Galador guy.
Okay, I need to point something out here. Yes, so Galador guy from the Ninjago City set has not only made his... Okay, Galador was a complete and utter critical and commercial failure for LEGO. It was unbelievably a waste of money and time for the company. No one liked it. Obviously, it has a small fan base now, of course. Some of it's a little ironic. Some of it is very genuine. If you like it, that's great. That's perfectly fine. But as far as the
talking about Galador, not Bionicle. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, I am talking about Galador. Oh my gosh.
Really? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, jeez, Meso. So, Galador is a complete and utter blight on the LEGO company's record. That being the case, it has recently seen a resurgence in the fact that it has gotten a minifigure print acknowledging it as a thing in one of the largest Ninjago sets ever released and one of the most popular LEGO sets critically in the community of the year it was released. And it has made it onto the largest LEGO TV show that LEGO has ever had on air. Because of some certain people who thought it would be amusing to put a print of Galador on a minifigure.
Ulti says Galador 2, Despacito.
Oh my gosh.
We're moving on. So, I just feel like that is a crazy journey for the Galador brand.
It is. It's very interesting to monitor.
Also, he's going out of business. So,
Rip.
it's representative.
Oh.
Indeed. But yeah, Lloyd has a cool moment where like he sees the photos of all the captive people, and like that's what inspires him to have the courage to continue broadcasting his message. And that was cool. Shows a lot about his character. So we can expect Ultraviolet to get ripped apart brutally limb by limb now, right?
As
for failing.
To quote Jay, there are kids in the audience. This is far too violent for them.
Yeah, that was a great meta line. lot of cool stuff happened in this episode. Again, like I have very like even feelings about this episode. There was nothing grievously offensive, nor was there anything particularly like earth-shatteringly plot relevant. It was just a good episode, which is very good to say. Some highlights: the ninja's elemental powers. Kai got captured by a chain, and Zane like froze the chain, stopping it, and then Jay like front flipped onto it and kicked it apart, and that was good teamwork before they all got completely massacred.
Yeah.
By Bane. Yeah, that was cool. Karloff fighting Dareth was a shining moment.
But
That
don't
was
worry,
just grand.
he's gonna have his revenge. By the end of this season, Dareth the Brown Ninja, Element of Brown, he's gonna come back. He's gonna beat Karloff. It's gonna be amazing.
There
I'm
better
sure.
be a payoff for this whole Dareth thing, because they are really like going at it.
Has Dareth
gonna do
ever let
something
you
useful.
down? He's never let me down before. He will come through. He will come through. He will make the enemies rue the day they ever messed
With the Brown Ninja.
Dareth Pasita.
Oh my god.
gosh.
Maybe that is the Lego announcement, the Dareth TV show.
Oh yeah, we still have to talk about that. All right.
Oh my god, the what?
No, don't worry, just the rumors. We'll talk about
Okay.
that in a few minutes. Yeah, the Elemental Masters doing stuff was really cool. Power synergy was cool. They go out of their way to make Harumi look dumb by showing her just like walking around with zero peripheral vision. I'm like, wow, I'm so threatened by you. And then at the end, when she sees Lloyd on TV, she's like, ah! She runs over to her keyboard and starts like hitting it. And I'm like, oh, great to see all that nuance that you were teasing in the last episode. Went right out the window. Good, nice to see. But I'm still hopeful that they'll do something interesting with her character. I see some comments in the chat. My Magic Ninja and also someone else earlier said it as well, that we're missing some of the Elemental Masters. And it's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they?
Who cares?
They're taking a vacation.
Master of Nature, Master of Gravity, Form, Music, there's gone.
Smoke?
Yeah! Smoke! I mean, to be fair, a lot of them were antagonistic. They weren't part of, like, the group who kind of became close-knit by the end. But they were in the final battle, I think. They were in the Corridor of Elders, with the exception of Music Guy. But why aren't they there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ulti mentions Tox and Shade were both antagonists. So yeah, fair enough. There's no excuse. Except I guess maybe they're just not as cool or well-liked by the fans.
Or
don't
there are
think
too many
so.
characters and their powers are not applicable to the situation at hand, and so the writers decided not to utilize them in this story.
Yeah.
Wow. Stop giving me meta examples. I want it.
Dude, if the meta were a person, you'd marry it.
You're right about that. You are right about that.
I know.
Oh my god.
I love the meta, dude. Yeah, it was a good episode. The Dragon Hunters seem interesting. I have a hunch that they're not going to be our villains for that long. By which I mean they're going to have their arc. You know, Wu's going to get the Golden Dragon Master armor, but then something's going to happen to make them ally with the ninja to fight against Garmadon, the Oni. Someone mentioned, like, we need an army. I think in the last episode, Skylar did or someone. And, like, the Dragon Hunters will be that army. They'll come through to fight the Oni in the realm of Ninjago. Calling it now.
Yeah, I feel that you're right. Because they just seem like people trying to survive. And they
With
they
the
remind me...
exception of Iron Baron, who's, like, Captain Ahab after the White Whale.
Yeah, well, okay, that is true. Obviously, because, you know, he holds a grudge against Firstbourne for taking his limbs. Which, you know, I get it. You know, those were limbs. You like limbs. But yeah, he is trying to capture Firstbourne. But I do feel like these are kind of almost...
I really want to see that dragon.
almost Bar
It's so
Magna
cool.
inhabitants. Like, they feel burned by the great beings. Like, these guys feel burned by the Oni.
Pretty much, yeah. That
So
is
what you're
good.
saying is not Ninjago is a better Bionicle.
What I'm saying is that Ninjago is ripping off Bionicle, but that's okay.
This will
So
be
what
a
you're
debate in the
saying
future.
is I'm right.
So what I'm saying is that you're wrong.
Well, you didn't say that until just now.
So what
So
I'm
technically-
saying-
You want to
Is
fight?
that
You want to
you're
go?
saying
We'll have a
is that
debate
I'm
right here, right
saying-
now.
I don't like verbal debating. That's
You don't like any debating.
Yeah.
But purple debating is great. And I don't mean grading, I mean great.
Debating is degrading.
Or that, sure. But yeah, they all seem like cool people. I like the danger buff joke. Overall, that's basically the episode. I wish the mailman had something more to do than run away like a coward with how many times they kept mentioning him, even right to the bitter end. Like, they might be setting up for him to do something later, but we'll see. One last thing, the music was really, really great when they were chasing the Wind Dragon. Really cool.
Yeah, the music this season is great.
All the cool tunes.
Music is always something you can count Ninjago on having in beautifully rich quantities.
Need some
All
help
the
there.
That was an awkward sentence. Let me restart
All
that.
those quantities.
You can always count on
every
Ninjago
single-
having really good music.
Yeah,
all the really good quantities.
yeah, it has a lot of good music.
A lot
You
of
know,
good quantities.
If the music in Ninjago were a harvest, then it would be bountiful.
Okay. Anything else to say about this episode?
I don't know. It was just really enjoyable overall. It felt like so much happened. Like we were halfway through the episode, and I was like, "Oh, it's probably like gonna be the end." It was like, wait, there's still like the entire 10, 15 minutes left of the episode. What the heck?
Oh yeah, Lloyd's whole subplot was cool. I'm really curious what they're gonna do with the Resistance, because like I like the concept of people rebelling against Garmadon and like uniting the people. It makes Ninjago feel like a place instead of just, a backdrop for main character conflict. But at the same time, what can the people do against Garmadon, the death god? They're just all gonna die.
They can ask him very nicely.
Oh my gosh. Kitty, please,
Garmadon
can you
could kill
not
everybody
squish us?
if he wanted to. He could,
Yeah.
just murder everyone. That's all he would have to do.
Yeah,
He
that's,
had no subjects at that point, but it's not like he can't do it.
yeah. I don't know. I think that this was a really solid episode. The episodes have been quite solid. I don't really have a lot of ire with any of them. And that's good.
I think when we get to Teen Woo, there'll be a lot more to discuss. Once he ages up, we'll be like, okay.
Agreed. We're still in early setup stage.
I hope that Teen Woo does not lose Young Woo's sassy attitude, because that's a fun element.
He kind of always had that attitude, like he was a little sassy even when he was old.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that is true. That is woo.
That
Twoo.
is Woo. Twoo.
That's
Okay. So those were the 2 episodes, but we're not done with NinjagoCast yet.
Well, why not?
Because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Meso, I
that
got places to be.
belong- I think it belongs more on this episode than BrickFeed.
Dude, I got places to be, people to see, and by people I mean Ant-Man.
When do you leave?
Listen, what is it? What do you got now? Huh? What's next, man?
You know. Okay. So we mentioned, I think last week or on last BrickFeed, I don't know, one episode. There's going to be a big Ninjago related announcement coming around the time of San Diego Comic-Con, which is late July 2018, just for whoever might be watching this later. And at the time of this recording, we don't know what it is, but there was speculation about it. Recently, there's been a few unsubstantiated rumors that have cropped up in the fandom. So take all this not with a grain, not with a spoonful, but with a few grains of salt.
Unbelievable. You ripped me off.
I did, yeah. The rumor is that next year's Ninjago sets for winter 2019 are going to be re-releases of older sets.
Oh, yes.
From the Serpentine era, from the Skeleton Skulkin waves, and people are like, re-releases? Why would they do that? Why would there be re-releases of old sets? You mean they're not going to make new sets? If the rumors to be believed, they're not going to be exactly the same. They're going to be modernized. They're going to be updated. They're going to be kind of brought to the quality standard of today's sets. So think, the dragons that we initially got, except maybe with brick-built heads instead of, the two-piece heads they actually got. Stuff like that is kind of what I'd imagine we would be getting if this rumor is to be believed. There are 2 schools of thought for why this would be the case if this is true, which it might not be. Number 1, some kind of special, a la Day of the Departed, or perhaps a Netflix special or a Cartoon Network multi-episode series, essentially catching people up, catching kids who were too young to know Ninjago when it started on the origins of the theme. So if they missed it the first go-around, LEGO's going to put out this thing. A theory I saw was that it could be called something like, I don't know, Ninjago Origins. And it would showcase the first 2 years of the theme in an abridged format, because there was a lot of padding, a lot of filler. They could cut that down nowadays. One suggestion I saw was that they could do it in a different art style to signify that it's like a story being told to people nowadays. Someone suggested Studio Mir could do it, the people who did the Lego Elves show, which would be awesome.
Purple's not excited about that
Purple.exe
literally
has
at all.
stopped working.
Gosh.
Honestly, this is her when she hates something, and she really hates really good animation and Ninjago.
What?
So,
Yeah.
What?
yeah, we're terribly sorry,
What?
Purple. We know this is the last time you're gonna be happy about this franchise, but it's okay.
What?
Maybe one day you can come back and enjoy it. One day.
I have no idea what's going on.
Elvis is memeing you.
No.
Trolling you. Come
I was
on.
like, since when did I think all this is news to me?
So that's one theory. The other theory is just that it would be in the regular art style, but just be like with the new, animation techniques, essentially remaking the old stories, which would also be cool. Slightly less, but cool nonetheless. The other theory, and if this is true, much like Mr. E being sacrificed without any backstory, will make me reconsider my love for Ninjago, and I might go full-on boycott mode. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Is a time travel special. And that's actually the prevailing theory right now, because there's a few people who, again, I can't necessarily substantiate their track record, so it could be BS, but they're like, oh, hey, my sources are claiming that we're going to get a time travel special in Ninjago. One person in particular by the name of Spinjitzu Chima on Twitter. I believe he has a YouTube channel as well where he just talks about Ninjago. He also put this out there. I was like, hey, yeah, if my sources are to be believed, it's going to be time travel. And I swear to God, if it's time travel again, I don't know.
That would be so freaking funny.
I don't know if I could handle it. Once it's a one-off, fine. I could forgive wrong place, wrong time. It was early.
Can you?
Yeah, it was early. The theme hadn't found its identity yet. They were experimenting, and it was during a fillery season. I can forgive it. And then they made a whole season with the Time Twins. And it really pushed the limits of what I could tolerate. Hands of Time was just bad, and it didn't even have that much time travel in it. It had very, very minimal compared to what we were all fearing. And then if they do this again, and it actually takes the place of, like, imagine Tommy Anderson has been hinting that the story might not be over with season 9. This arc they're doing with the Oni and the Dragon and Garmadon and whatnot, it might continue into season 10. He said in a recent interview with Brent Miller, he's like, this might not be the end of the story. Imagine getting to the end of season 9, and then that gets put on pause so they can do a time travel story, or even alternatively, an Ninjago Origins reboot kind of scenario in favor of an actual plot continuation. That would suck.
I mean,
So I'm
this
trying
isn't
to not
entirely
be super negative.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say this is unsubstantiated either. I recently had a few set designers on my show, over on my channel, the LG Johnson Show, and one of them
Good plug.
may have
Scummy.
mentioned... Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You said it. Though.
Listen, man, you keep pushing me, and then I do it, and it's like, all right, well, great, now you're garbage. This is why I didn't want to do it in the first place.
I want you to promote your channel. It's
Okay,
cool.
shut up. No, I'm done. No, we're through with this. Anyway, the point to this, one of them did mention there might possibly be some work being done on Ninjago 2020. That's all that was said. Very in passing. But,
Okay. So Ninjago 2020.
2020 is in less than 2 years.
That's
Correct.
insanity.
Oh my gosh.
we're going to be in
Life
the roaring
goes
20s
fast.
again.
Oh no.
Nice.
No.
Get hype. Yeah. So that's cool. Now the crackpot theory that I had about this whole SDCC thing, at the time of this recording we don't know, is that it was going to be Ninjago Movie 2, and that was, and in my eyes, that would only be substantiated if they took a break from doing a regular season to remake old sets. Because that's kind of what they did with the Day of the Departed, except not really. It was a way to save budget while the bulk of the budget was spent on the movie sets. and whatnot. And also for storyline purposes. They did, like, you know, the Vermilion were just an unused concept from the movie, and then they made a season around them. You know what I mean? They kept things very close to the vest while the movie was being worked on. If they do that again, that's only more evidence to suggest there might be another movie. However, they could prove me wrong, and they could just say, no, we're fully going to embrace time travel.
At that point, I might laugh until one of my lungs explode.
Only one of them?
I would accept one instance of time travel. And that's if the ninja gets so frustrated by the lack of backstory for Mr. E, they go back in time
Oh
to find
my
out who
gosh.
he was.
Oh my god.
They go
I
back
wanna
in
write-
time to save his life so they can learn who he is.
I want to write a time travel comic just to spite you,
I
Meso.
want to write a Purple Dies Brutally comic.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Uh,
I was joking. You're cool, Purple.
are you though?
Partly. Like,
Okay.
60%
All right.
jokes. 60% jokes. You're a treasured friend, but you could damage that irrevocably with time travel.
My
Fantastic.
goodness.
Time travel isn't that bad.
It is very bad. There are very few instances of it that I've ever liked.
I really, really want you to read Homestuck because time travel is all over the place in that.
Why would you want me to read that? Why would you want me to read that? Why would you want me to read that?
Because I want your
You like me in
opinion.
pain?
No, I want your opinion on the time travel in that.
You want to kill me, huh? Is that it?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I mean sometimes, but no.
Wow, this went off the rails. All right, well,
Whenever you mention Destiny, it kind of.
Hey,
You know what,
speaking
dumb
of
it-
making Meso feel pain, by the way, Meso, just want you to know that I can't actually progress past level 8 in Destiny, so you're going to have to, like, do that all over anyway.
Wait, what? Also, hi, Var. What
In
do you
the-
mean you can't progress?
In the trial, you can only progress to level 8. You can't go any further than that.
Trial? Class trial?
Yeah, class trial, purple.
I'm just gonna
can't wait
jump
for the
off
next
of a
class
cliff
trial.
at this
The
rate.
full
So
campaign was available. What?
Well, apparently not, because I'm only level 8 and I can't go any higher.
You what? Well, I will investigate that. Anyway, leave us be, Var. We're recording.
Ninjago sucks.
Var, everyone.
All right. See you, Var. Anyway,
He's
Yes.
already muted.
time travel is like a knife stabbing into my very soul. It's no good. Then you know what doesn't have time travel? Destiny.
Really?
Actually, no, I'm wrong.
Oh.
A whole enemy class is about time travel.
Literally an entire garbage DLC is about time travel, Meso.
I'm sorry, I repressed the DLC.
Evidently. Okay, I think we've got everything out of the way. It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously enough, San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. It's going to be later this month, so we're going to wait and see exactly what goes on and let everyone know.
Indeed. It's going to
Okay.
be very interesting, the progression. So again, just to say to anyone listening, Tommy Anderson's mentioned on Twitter he's not going to be answering any questions about Hunted until it actually gets a widespread release, so people don't get spoiled. So anyone hoping to get all their questions answered, probably not going to be in much luck until it premieres in other countries besides Australia. So give him a break. Don't spam him with messages. As much as I would like to ask him who Mr. E is, I'm refraining from doing so. So that's basically it. Thanks for listening. Go ahead and sync us out, LJ, or send us out,
Yeah.
rather.
So, yeah,
Give us our
3,
outro.
2, 1, sync. All right, we're done, guys. No.
Think?
All right.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you all so very much for listening today. If you enjoyed this, then stick around because we're going to continue to do NinjagoCast up until this latest season ends. And if there's any super juicy Ninjago news, we'll discuss it on episodes there as well. Afterwards, however, we'll discuss it over on BrickFeed, which I occasionally host, so it's always a good time. But X primarily hosts it, and he is the best. So, thank you all so very much for listening, watching, and so on and so forth. Go ahead and check out Patreon because it's a good place to be, and it helps us. And we really want to get shirts back because shirts are cool. Thank you all
Shirts aren't
so
coming back.
Thank you all so very much for being a part of today's session. I have been your sensei, LJ. Oh no, the music
I
ended too
have been
quickly.
a dude, Meso, and the music ended. Nice timing.
And I've been a chick purple.
And, yeah, class is dismissed.
Bye.